This is it. The game you've all been waiting for me to review. My full Sonic Generations review. First off, I'd like to say something to all the Sonic fanboys who are going to post 500-word comments about how I'm a gay faggot. This game blows. There, go start writing it. And now for the review. First off, the PC version is really awesome. All it is a cheap 360 port. Yes, they were so cheap that they didn't even change the button icons and use a separate program written in Visual Basic for the settings. They even forgot to change the default Visual Basic icon. Look at that. The controls are also mapped like in a crappy emulator where you set the keyboard controls for the controller button and not the function. How lazy could the developers possibly be? Is this like some emulator for the 360 running on a computer and not even the actual game being ported? Because it sure looks like that. And now on for the actual gameplay. When you hit new game, you start in a zone that's obviously Green Hill Zone, but they decided to put 3 question marks. Why not tell us the name when we first go? It's the exact same game as the demo, complete with the slippery controls, blending in, and everything else. Classic Sonic doesn't play like Classic Sonic very much either. He still has scripted scenes of him getting himself back up in the game, and then he also happens to be like a neutered Sonic in Sonic 4, not Classic Sonic. If you've played a classic Sega Genesis game, you'll know what I mean. See? He took a while to get up, unlike in the older Sonic games. Both Sonics happen to have a lot of scripted on-rail scenes as well. In fact, the game might as well play itself until the very end, where it turns itself into a modern Sonic game, as in crap. Once you beat the first level, then we see our first cutscene. And then the cutscene happens to be really corny, like a bad fanfic. How bad could it possibly be this time after Sonic 06 had bestiality and necrophilia? Well, not as bad, but still pretty crappy. The story involves classic Sonic's running and boom, black thing appears out of a plot hole. That's a giant plot hole. We don't even know anything about it. And even Sonic 06 had more than plot than this. And apparently we see a scene which looks like it got stolen from a better game. And we are at a corny picnic. And what happens? They're throwing a surprise birthday party for Sonic with all his recolored friends. Yay! And he also has chili dogs in a reference to that crappy TV show. Any Game Gear references here? No, they forgot about all the portable Sonics. And they make Blaze like he appeared in Sonic 06. So yeah. Then the black thing comes out of a giant plot hole, and it eats them all. Oh my god, this is so scary. I'm gonna have nightmares because of this crappy fanfic style plot. Sonic then wakes up to find out that he's on the worst acid trip of his life, and that he's in this white space lying on the ground, and right next to him is Green Hill Zone on meth, which is all white. This seems a lot like the adventure areas from Adventure 1 or Sonic 06. Remember where you had to go through walk this pointless shit just to get to a level? It's just like that. Except without humans, and Sonic Furry's friends. Then you start the zone, and it's also exactly the same as the demo, complete with all the blind spots you've come to love in modern Sonic games, and on-rails action. Yay! The gameplay is exactly the same for modern Sonic as it is in Unleashed and Colors. Not Sonic 4, because Sonic 4 Sonic is neuter classic Sonic, as we all know. And by the way, Adventure 2 is more fun than this, and I'm not even in the beginning. By the way, the whole game is designed to be scripted to be played in a certain way. If you don't play it in a certain way, then deaths like this are common. How cheap was that death, Tommy Wiseau? So afterwards, Tails comes back, and guess what? You find out that there are more stages too. Such as afterwards, you have to do Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2. Why there are no original stages in this game beats me, but then again I think they thought, hey, what the heck, we might as well throw a billion stages in because we know the nostalgia freaks are gonna buy it. And then you also notice how the text just messed up. This is a glitch. The voices mess up in this game. Sometimes they'll lag. It's in the PC version. I suspect it's something to do with crappy porting, but whatever. Chemical Plant is pretty much the exact same as it is in Sonic 2, except with better graphics. Now, had this game played the exact same without the laggy controls, maybe I would have liked it. But sadly, it's pretty annoying when you're slip sliding and with all the scripted stuff too. Afterwards, you have to jump through horribly designed platforming levels inside the hub world just to get to what you want, which is the challenges. Actually, then again, once you do the challenges, you don't want them. You have to pick challenges and complete at least one to unlock a boss key to get to the really easy boss battle. And the challenges are annoying. In this stage, you have to run around and have Knuckles dig in certain places and collect all the coins. Remember those annoying Chaos Emerald levels from Adventure? Yeah, this is those all over again. Except instead of finding them, you have to run in them and be sure you hit it exactly on the point. If you missed it, then he'll fail and you have to dig it. And it gets annoying after a while, especially when the arrow starts pointing you wrong places. I skipped this one because this one was so annoying, and now I'm going to show you a different. By the way, enjoy that music because that's the only thing from Sonic 3D Blast you're ever going to see from this game. No theme from 3D Blast, the Game Gear games, and other games. In this one, all you gotta do is beat Tails. It's really easy because all you gotta do is boost. By the way, did you notice how the music is the only good part about this game? Yeah, that's right, the music is the only good part about this game. You might as well take the music and put it in a better Sega game like this. Yeah, look at that. They could have put that in a much better game instead of this game. Why does it happen? Bad games, why do bad games always have good music? Why? So after you complete 3 tedious challenges, one for each zone, then you get to unlock the boss battle, which is pretty much the same as, well, every other Sonic boss battle, except it's 15 times easier. Just look at this. After a cutscene, we are treated to Death Egg Robot. And then you have to play as classic Sonic in a traditionally easy boss battle. Just hit his weak spot over and over again, and pretty much you win. It's so easy compared to the older Sonic games. And not only that, but you have rings, so it's even easier. Once you're done, then you have to fight the final Sonic boss in Sonic Adventure. Well, the boss sure feels like that because you jump around on platforms, collect rings, and have to hit him in a certain time. In this boss, you have to hit it with the bomb. It would have been easier, but the fact that jumping on him is so hard pretty much makes it difficult. But of course, once you get on him, it's all on rails from here. Afterwards, you then start to do the Dreamcast stages, which are pretty much Dreamcast era, including Heroes. Why they included Heroes was beyond me, but still. This is classic Sonic Speed Highway, which is not speedy at all and pretty misleading for the name, and also involves a remix which should have gone in a better game, and has the exact same blending in problem, except this time you keep thinking what's in the background is in the foreground. See that road? You might think you can walk up on it, but you can't because it's 2D. Why do that stuff if it's going to be 2D and confusing the player? Modern Sonic Speed Highway is almost the same as the original Speed Highway, except this time, it's an Unleashed style. Even though the level was never made for Unleashed style platforming, they still did it anyway. By the way, when you start the level, you also get a message telling you about how to use the Lightspeed Dash, a mechanic used only in this level and the Chaos boss battle. By the way, if you don't play the game the way it was scripted to be played, expect cheap deaths like that. Because this game gets even worse the farther you go when it comes to cheapness. City Escape from Adventure 2 repeats that problem. It introduces yet another new mechanic, the jump panel, which is only used during that level. As you can see, it starts off like Adventure 2's, but later on goes into even more the annoying Unleashed style 2D areas. Sega, can you make up your mind? Do you want a 3D Sonic or a 2D Sonic? It's gotta be one or the other. Just like Adventure 2, there are cheap deaths, except this time, they're even more annoying. The game failed to target that other robot, so I just suddenly died. And by the way, that symbol is no excuse for blind spots. The more you play the game, the more blind spots you find. In other words, they still couldn't fix the blind spots from Sonic Adventure 2. If you can't fix something that simple, then why even try to make it like that? Because honestly, this game should not be the same as the original when it comes to bugs and stuff. Classic Sonic is equally annoying. While the truck driving in and smashing stuff might have looked cool when you're not playing it, when you actually have to play it, it drives you nuts because it keeps destroying the platforms. What's the point in a platform game when you can't platform? Another thing, the blind spots are still annoying, but still. Just look at this. Have you ever played a platform game where you can't even platform because some giant truck drives in and destroys all the platforms? Yeah, that game is awesome. I mean, what's the point in adding it? They might as well have a 2D chase in the end instead of having it blow up platforms all the time. Seaside Hill? Same new mechanic stuff. This time featuring wall jumps, or triangle jumps as they were originally called. What are they? The same wall jump mechanic that didn't work very well from Heroes and Shadow. Yeah! This is awesome! Just look at it. This makes you feel of Heroes like you're playing Heroes. You know, with the same jumps that don't work very well. Now all we need is, well, it's almost the same as Heroes. It plays the same except without the annoying 3-character system. And with more Unleashed cuts. I really don't think Seaside Hill was meant to be played 2D. The cheap deaths you've come to love from the Sonic franchise are still there. By the way, I think that sign should be changed to say, "Warning, you're about to encounter a cheap death. Please don't fear, we're Sega and our games are so perfect that cheap deaths are non-existent because we said they weren't."
You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip.
Another annoying thing are the rival battles, like this between Shadow. The first battle between Metal Sonic is incredibly easy, but this is confusing because they don't even give you directions. What are you supposed to do to Shadow? I don't know. I went for like 6 minutes trying to run and trying to beat this annoying boss. You know what, screw it. I'm just gonna go back to the annoying challenges. Okay, never mind. The challenges aren't that much better. Let's move on to the next boss. I mean, quote boss, because this isn't really a boss. The next boss is against Perfect Chaos. How easy is, you may ask? The whole point of the boss battle is to just run forward, jump on platforms, and actually go into this full on-rails sequence with quick time events just to beat him. It's so easy. Who designed this boss? The people for designing kindergarten games? Oh my god, this is the greatest game ever because it has, oh my god, chaos. Even though this is so scripted, oh my god, it's so awesome destroying him. Oh my god, he's so big. Oh my god, I'm gonna so buy this game. This game is so awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna buy this game now because it's got this giant boss battle, which is so easy because I can't play an actual video game. Oh my god, this is awesome! Yeah! This is chaos, and I'm like this hedgehog, and I'm like destroying him. Yeah! Once you beat quite possibly the easiest boss in the entire world, the difficulty takes a sudden spike when you get to play in Crisis City. Yes, that Crisis City from the first time they tried to reboot Sonic. It's still better than the original, but then again, anything's better than the original because the original is so bad, it's about as good as The Room is a movie. Cheap deaths are still commonplace, except this time they took it to 11 with cheap deaths left and right. Sega, why don't you learn to actually design a game instead of putting those signs to trying to get away with it? You then shift into the 2D segments, where not only is it more annoying, but you also have to use yet another mechanic only used for the stage while running through buildings that suspiciously look like the World Trade Center. You know, the one that got destroyed in 2001 in another explosion? Yeah, so not sensitive, Sega. Afterwards, you have Rooftop Run. I'm not even going to say much about this stage because I'm pretty much said all the problems with this game already, and I don't want to repeat myself again, but let's just say this level is so bad, it's making me not want to buy Unleashed, used from GameStop. Because seriously, this game is confusing and the deaths are still cheap. Next, on to colors. And now for Planet Wisp, or yeah, that's what it was called, I think, but whatever. The gameplay is still bad. Cheap deaths galore, plus colors with the bad color choice, and annoying levels, and the fact that the game just, well, introduces yet another new mechanic. You remember the wisps from Colors that broke the game? Unless you're a hardcore Sonic fanboy, because they were absolutely perfect if you were. But they broke the game, and they're here too. Just look. This Wisp is a rocket Wisp. If you hold Y down, it'll get you up there and shoot you through those. These are annoying because half the time they don't work, and it's annoying when you're trying to waste 15 minutes trying to beat a level just because the gimmicks don't work. If I want gimmicks, I'll go play Colors. Classic Sonic is almost the same, except it's only 2D and there's no homing attack, so you can't get up on platforms as easily. Of course you could say it's difficulty, like a Sonic fanboy who probably doesn't care about gaming and only cares about if it has his beloved Drew Hedgehog. So, whatever. The Wisps in this are also different. This time you have a spike that lets you cry all up walls. And guess what? It's pretty annoying to use. It also has a few gimmicks in the level, but why can't they just make it another level? I'd preferably a Robo level, not just one of those crappy, the levels as in, well, let's just say, have you ever played Sonic 1 or 3, where they actually had design and not cheapness? Yeah, go play those for a second and then play this. You'll see which one's better. The Colors level pissed me off so much, I'm not going to beat the whole game. But I am going to show you the collection room. What is it, you may ask? Movies lets you replay in-engine cutscenes, which you could easily find on YouTube with a quick search. Music lets you see the music you unlocked, which you could probably find on YouTube too. There's also concept art, and a mode that lets you view 3D models of all the characters, so you can beat off to them while you're bored. The ending I was going to skip, I found clips of it on YouTube. First off, not only is the voice acting horrible in English, but it's so predictable. We find out that it was some evil thing found by Eggman. We never know its origin, but we just know that it's done by Eggman and it's evil and it's going to destroy the world like usual. And classic Eggman? Really? What's next? They're gonna create classics of every single character under the sun. Recolor. Then later, we get a really cliche scene. Sonic! You can do it! Yeah, Sonic! You can defeat this evil thing!
Come on, Sonic! Smack him! Not you!
Complete with the horrible voice acting you've all come to love.
You can win, Sonic.
Who are they? They are insignificant!
No, they're recolors.
Power, Sonic!
Focus your spirit.
We're with you guys! I believe in you, Sonic! Don't give in, Sonic!
I know you can do this, Sonic.
It's Friday.
Do!
Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody looking forward to the weekend. And then we get Chaos Emeralds.
Sonic style!
Turn me to Supersonic and D-sex my chin of the ball. Hell yeah. So once you defeat that annoying boss, you're back to where we were. Holy crap, maybe this should not create a giant plot hole. And then they also come back like if nothing ever happened. Real easy cop-out.
You weren't half bad, Sonic!
Like,
Bad?
cheap plot.
It was all great!
And yeah, after a bunch of more scenes of Sonic's annoying friends, they go back to where they came from. But not after Sonic flat out lies to them.
It was great teaming up with you. Hope you learned a few tricks that'll help you out in the future. I mean, the past. You know what I mean.
Har har. Sorry, Sonic, you're not supposed to do that until adventure. Or they give you a crappy redesign, which causes 10-year-olds to flip out.
There's our ride.
Hey, Sonic! Enjoy your future! It's gonna be great!
Can you please repeat that?
Hey, Sonic! Enjoy your future! It's gonna be great!
Let me tell you how to work my balls! This ball, they don't get a shit!
So, what do I think about this game? This game sucks! What the heck, Sega? Why'd you make this piece of crap? This game blows. The gameplay blows. It's too on rails. The graphics have low resolution textures. Classic Sonic is even in Classic Sonic. And the gameplay just blows. There's so many cheap deaths. Don't buy this game. Buy a better game. Run out to like the used game store like GameSwap and pick up, well, a Sega Genesis and the games. Or even better, if you're cheap for one, just go to GameStop and get Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. Better games than and Generations. By the way, I love how they tried to make Sonic 06 look better than it actually was. I feel bad for the 10-year-olds who are going to buy this game thinking, this is exactly how it is in the video. Too bad they're going to find out that it's so broken that it makes Pokemon Red and Blue look like they were programmed perfectly. Where was this filmed? The PSU lobby where everyone says it just for Sonic statues? And now... What is this? Can someone give me an explanation?
Sure you saw a door over here?
Cause this sounds entirely random.
You were the one who said you saw a door over here. Well, I know it was one
Can
of us.
somebody explain
Shut up
the
and keep
point of this to me? Cause this is incredibly stupid. Ah, well, never mind. I'm just gonna go back to playing better games. See ya, and subscribe for more. Also,
It's the exact same time
please
when you
suggest
asked
any
her,
bad games
and
you want me
it'll
to
be the
review.
exact same time when you ask